Fever, Ty Harris, Dejanay Carey. The Sun have won at least 25 games in 3. We are so excited to have you all here. NBA season is underway. But you know what? And now for real. Here we go. Clark coming back, bounces to Boston. Boston one-on-one with Jones, will flip it in.
And the Fever were working on that in their shoot-around, understanding that big.
Immediately feeling that chemistry with last year's Rookie of the Year, Leah Boss. Clark into the paint, hooks it up and off. Deflected to Smith, who flips it.
Three-point specialist.
Here's Thomas dumping it down. Jones can't fit. First time the Connecticut Sun have sold out.
History of the franchise.
You remember that one, don't you? Thomas banks it. Sun, who advanced to the semifinals once again. Clark can't hit the runner. Thomas looking to push. A freight train going around Clark.
And an attack. Majority of her points are scored not only in the paint, but in the
bin. But Alyssa Thomas last year, first player 3 in rebounds, assists, and steals. Had 8. She had them last season. He'll fire. In and out on a 3. Looked good. Crowd was bounced to Indiana.
He saw in the last.
Boston on the offensive glass. Can't flip in. And Jones the rebound. Now Thomas looking to push. A freight train going around Clark. And a whistle on Clark, who looked like was trying to. She heard Rebecca say them in the open. But Alyssa Thomas last year, first player in league history to finish as the leader in total assists and total rebounds. First player in league history to finish top 3 in rebounds, assists, and steals. Had 8 triple-doubles, more than any other player in league history. In their career, she had them last season. 4-3 Fever in the early going. Clark will fire. In and out on a 3. Looked good. Crowd was anticipating it, and Bonner the rebound. Here's Thomas, such a locomotive in the open floor. It last hits her. Good hands by Katie Lou. Bounce to Indiana.
He's on the last possession. Erica Wheeler bringing the ball up. This time it's Caitlin Clark, but
great look. Clark to Smith. Can't finish.
But when Erica Wheeler is the one initiating the offense, you saw Clark coming on screening action. She will have the ball in her hands a little bit less this season because of Wheeler's ability to handle the one. Kelsey Mitchell as well.
Gives Chrissy Sides, head coach of the Fever, some options. Thomas, shot put, won't go. Here comes Clark. Clark yet to score in this first, given some space here. Clark flings it to the corner. Boston working hard against Jones. Here's Boston. 8 to shoot. Out to Smith. Her 3 is good. Alyssa Smith, the number 2 overall pick back in 2022, and has come into this season in outstanding shape.
She was terrific. Averaged her 20 points a game, the 2 preseason.
Bonner. You can see Carrington picking up Clark 94 feet there.
And we'll try to force her right.
Clark goes right behind the back. Boston travel. And Indiana turns it over. Sides was talking about it. It can just be a split second, and that can be the difference between an open look or not. Caitlin is seeing it, and the team still has to come along a little bit to those intricacies. Chrissy Sides said, we're catching up to her, as she couldn't catch up to Harris, who buries the 3.
Ty Harris gets the credit for the score, but that was Dejanay Carrington's cut. Took 2 defenders with her, and that's why Ty Harris was open.
Harris looking to build on a really promising 2023 season. Here's Wheeler circling, dishing, and throwing away. Carrington. Back to Bonner. Bonner sending Carrington to the
Tawana Bonner is just so long and efficient, finishing around the rim, using the glass. She always has size in terms of height and length on her defender.
6th on the all-time scoring list. A foul is called here against Bonner.
Of a trap that big.
A 7-0 Connecticut run. Herring confronting Clark. Smith will fire again. That one too strong. And Bonner the weak side rebound. Christy Wallace into the game off the bench for Indiana. Harris has it popped in the air. Thomas is going to be fouled by Clark. Wow. Caitlin Clark has been called for a Clark, who's yet to score. 0 for 3 from the floor, has 1 assist. Thomas flings it out. Harris a deep one. Won't go. And the box out from Boston. The rebound from Smith. Clark flings it ahead. Wallace couldn't grab it. And it's out of bounds to Connecticut. Or Pizza is at home.
This is a situation, Alyssa Smith this season, I know Caitlin Clark's not on the floor right now, but she is going to be a benefactor, running the floor, get-ahead passes. Kelsey Mitchell on the floor, great sign for Indiana.
Harris drills another 3.
Ty Harris led the WNBA in three-point field goal percentage a season ago. This year, getting starters minutes, still expected to be a force from the outside.
Here's Mitchell, who was doubtful to play in this game, but participated in practice yesterday, bounced back well, and eventually two for Caitlin to work with and to get off the ball with as well.
Terrific three-point shooter, great catch and shoot three-point shooter as well.
Here's Mitchell. Boston being guarded by Nelson Adota. Boston gets inside, can't finish. Rebound knocked to the floor and grabbed by Harrington, who is tapped from behind by Alyssa Smith. With 2. Fever 13 and 27 a season ago. Connecticut 27 and 13. Lost to the Liberty in the semifinals before Vegas topped New York for its 2nd straight championship. And a whistle here before the shot. It's going to go. It's a free throw. Different look for what Connecticut has to offer as far as their guard go this season.
Yeah, certainly. No Noti stay for them.
Tiffany Hayes retired, who was so good for them last season. Rebecca Allen, not a guard, was a key part of their rotation and their playoff run, is out.
Rachel Banham spent 4 years at Connecticut, then 4 in Minnesota. Back here now with the Connecticut Sun.
Banham started her career in Connecticut those first 4 seasons. Carrington hits the bottom of the rim. Wallace up with it for Indiana. Grace Berger into the game off the bench as well, along with Temi Fagbenle. Fagbenle sets the screen, and it's a legal one as Indiana gives it right back. Caitlin Clark on the bench for the moment, has not yet scored her debut. 0 for 3 from the floor, picked up 2 fouls. Here's Wallace left alone, will fire, and it's hit from 3.
Indiana doing a really nice job this season. Well, preseason games in here, really pushing the pace, looking to advance the basketball. They have the personnel to do that.
Banham. Swing around, here's Harris. Harris, another 3 is good. That's the 3rd 3 of first quarter for Ty Harris.
And she did not shoot the ball great in their preseason game. Has come out here on fire here in the first quarter.
Shot at 46% a season ago. Fagbenle, oh, that's far too long, and Indiana turns it over for a 5th time. Games throughout the playoffs last year. Big responsibility, and one of the things that Stephanie White talked to us about, it's also hard to be starting point guard on this particular veteran team, as that 3 is airmailed, because there is a lot of verbal instruction from an Alyssa Thomas, from a Dewana Bonner. That can be hard for a younger point guard to get used to and handle. Backdoor cut. Mitchell gets fouled. Delivery there from Aaliyah Boston. And Mitchell is going to shoot. Mitchell go to the line to shoot two. After the All-Star break last season, averaged nearly 20 points per game. And is 7th among all active players in career threes made. Rebecca, I know you talked about it. You just feel like Mitchell fits so nicely with Clark. And at the pieces, the young talent of this Indiana team, it's not just that they're talented, it's that they're complementary.
100%. Aaliyah Boston pick and roll, Melissa Smith rim running, Kelsey Mitchell, we saw that lightning quick cut, her ability to catch and shoot, create as well. Erica Wheeler,
2 weeks,
2 weeks, okay.
Yeah,
12 days. 12 days. Less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, both of these teams are going to continue to progress. Just Connecticut's got a few more veterans in their front court to kind of lead the charge.
Here's Thomas barreling in and gets fouled. Alyssa Thomas doing the too small as she goes to the line. Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. Thursday on Amazon Prime, it's Caitlin Clark's home opener, Liberty at Indiana. Then Friday on Ion, we have a doubleheader. Washington and Connecticut. Minnesota hosts Seattle. Aces taking on LA and their talented rookie class. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Well, be kind to all of you who are joining us for the first time. And plays with 2 torn labrums that she just had never gotten fixed, because obviously her game, well, doesn't need them. She's so good, and then hasn't wanted to take the year off that it would require. As Thomas comes up with a rebound. Banham a deep three, short. Long board Wallace. 6-point lead for Connecticut. Berger, the former Indiana star.
When do you think the last time Caitlin Clark sat this much in first quarter?
Or a game ever.
Yeah.
Wallace gets fouled by Carrington, and Christy Wallace is going to shoot 2. Tiffany Mitchell, one of the new acquisitions for Connecticut this season. Raya Jefferson, another. As Wallace misses both free throws. And here comes Thomas. The roll, rebound. Jones gets it back, can't finish it, but gets the whistle. By the way, was number 3 on Fag Benley. As Jones misses the first, Clark will get Wallace.
Fag Benley, 3.
Jones misses both free throws. Fag Benley rebound. Trying to find Clark, cannot, and won't get shot off.
The offensive end, so good at pushing pace in your preseason games. How have you liked the pace so far in this one?
Oh gosh, we can do so much better. We can do so much better. We can get out, we can run, we need to get to the rim, we need to get Caitlin some pace so she can create. But we can be so much better in that area.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. We appreciate it. Christy Sides, head coach of the Indiana Fever, as Aaliyah Boston picks up her first personal.
Just a great drive. Dejanay Carrington
Puts the 3-point play, 9-point Connecticut lead. Season debut here in 2024. Smith going behind the back, elevating, forced it up and off. Boston the rebound. Aaliyah Boston looking to go to work. Boston dips inside and lays it home. Nice take from Aaliyah Boston.
2 big, strong centers battling inside with Aaliyah Boston and Brianna Jones.
Carrington off one leg, no. Here's Berger with the rebound. Berger not picked up, goes right to the cup and lays it in. Carrington, 1 of 4 from the floor in the early going. Bonner, a deep three, short. Carrington there to clean it up. Makes those kind of hustle plays.
Alyssa Thomas not a floor, not a sight we're used to seeing.
Clark behind back. Smith, attack, she'll go behind the back. Bucket will not count. A blocking foul is called. Or are they going to score the basket and say it was simultaneous with the release of the shot?
Give me double behind the backs. Oh, with that area this past season, W did not.
They're counting the basket.
Huh.
Wow. Oh, are they going to? Okay, now they're going to say no basket, foul prior. So they just went back on that. No basket. Bergert inbound. Still awaiting the first points for Caitlin Clark as it's knocked away by Middle. Here's Clark working behind Boston. Clark around the hedge. Tried to sneak it into Boston, wasn't there. Clark turns it over. 6th for Indiana. Carrington in transition, cashes in. And another poor pass from Indiana. They haven't played with pace, but they have 26-17. Connecticut in front, more than 2 minutes into the second quarter. Carrington has all 7 Connecticut points in this second. Jones trying to work Boston. Jones able to finish. That's big time work done by the former All-Star. Here's Clark around screen from Boston. Will let it fly. Can't hit. Rebound Smith. She gets fouled by Bonner, and Alyssa Smith will shoot 2 as Clark clapped her hand in frustration. 0 for 4 from the floor now and early going. 0 for 2 from 3.
Going left is her.
One of the things that was really interesting the other night after Indiana's preseason game, Caitlin was asked a question about how she was effective in it. She had 12 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and she said, well, I did think I was effective. And Melissa Smith jumped in and said, no, here's why she was effective. This is the way she draws attention. This is how it opens things up for me and for Aaliyah, for everybody else on this team. But one thing we've seen thus far, you talk to anyone on the field, they have loved the bond and the vibe that this group has, Holly Rowe.
Well, actually, you see Caitlin getting a little frustrated right now with her offense, but they did show Caitlin video after that game that you're speaking of and show her how people defending her and all the attention she's garnering is opening up for her teammates. They have to keep building that confidence in her, and they did it through a video session, and she understands she's getting a lot of attention. That pays off for her teammates.
Thank you, Hollis. Thomas puts up short, and Alyssa Smith able to flag down the rebound. Here comes Clark. Clark looking to take Carrington and is fouled by Dejanay Carrington. Consecutive #1 overall picks. Has eventually won a championship with those players. Happened in Seattle twice, has happened in Vegas. Shot clock down to 1. Jones flipped it in again. Clark and Boston among them. Harris long 2 is good. Ty Harris is ready for the season. 11 points. Points in the WNBA career of Caitlin Clark. And on the other end, you get #3 on Aaliyah Boston.
We know Caitlin Clark.
Well, actually, during the course of the offseason, Tyisha Harris, knowing her role would be different, was FaceTiming on a Zoom with Alyssa, leaning into her vets, asking them to help her get better. Tawana Bonner said, I'm so impressed with her reaching out to us, wanting to be the leader for the team this year, and you see the step forward she's taken tonight. That's been happening all offseason.
If she keeps shooting like this, Tawana and she should be saying, how do you need the basketball and where do you need it?
Foul called is
Last fall.
Oh, there's Aaliyah Renee. Adorable. And it never ceases to amaze me. The journey these women go through from giving birth to getting back on the floor to play this professional sport.
Smart man. It should never cease to amaze any man.
Bam can't hit the three.
WNBA in college, when the trap comes, it's 6'4" and long. It's 6'5" and long, which makes it a lot harder to see and deliver over.
And a travel. And a la what we saw at Iowa with Caitlin. Obviously have not been able to come near that pace here so far tonight against Connecticut. And all teams struggle with that against Connecticut. With 12 points in this first half, and it's a 12-point Connecticut lead. Knocked away, another turnover, the 11th from Indiana. Here's Carrington circling, shoveling, and a travel from Connecticut.
Ready to take that next step.
And we have seen steady development throughout her first 3 years. Here's Mitchell shimmying into the paint, gets some body, not the bucket, but will go to the line to shoot two.
Kurt Miller, who's now
the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, described Caris LeVert as having an offbeat wiggle.
An offbeat wiggle?
Offbeat wiggle makes it tough for defenders to swing beats. It's kind of offbeat, it's kind of on-beat, but it's not quite either in totality.
Is jazz more of an offbeat music, or music aficionado? Let us know.
Yeah,
what
now
would be with the music equivalent.
Here's Bonner's jumper. She got it. Connecticut doing it all in this first half. Clark wanted it. Wheeler didn't see her. Now Carrington back to Clark. Katie Lou Samuelson now on the drive underneath. Smith will lay it in. Boy, Rebecca, we're also just not used to seeing these long periods of time where Clark just doesn't have the basketball either. Obviously, some of that is credit to Carrington.
Carrington, the entire Connecticut defense, but also she's not always the primary ball handler bringing the ball at the floor.
Bonner, another jumper. Yeah! Joanna Bonner stroking it. Here's Clark. Draws two. Off to Samuelson. Mitchell, wow, big screen from Katie Lou Samuelson. Was stunned there wasn't a foul on jumper.
Well, she did get run over.
Yeah. Here at the end of the second.
Great job, Rachel Banham, recognizing her defender went under.
Now Carrington picks Clark's pocket and lays it in. Dejanay has come to play. Timeout, Indiana. It's all over her. Clark looking to drive it, evades Carrington into the lane, gets clobbered, and Clark will go to the line to shoot. She's going to be grabbed, she's going to be held. There's going to be more physicality.
I think the phrase was going to grab me and...
Clark hits both free throws. 4 points. Just one assist in this opening half for turnovers for Clark. Bonner has had the mid-range flowing in this second. Here's Wheeler. Wheeler draws two. Katie Lou looking for help. Clark comes back to help her. A logo three. Short. Clark yet to hit a 3.5 as Wheeler comes up with a steal. Is fouled by Banham. And that is going to be home for the steal with the left hand, but I think that's the right call. Wheeler hits the free throw. Remember with the Katie Lou Samuelson will check out. Rachel Banham still contesting that she was going for the steal. Here's Wheeler. used her size on Bonner. Part of the reason why she prefers the three.
And Indiana was working on that.
Bonner gets blocked. Wheeler. And Thomas not. Back Benley. Here's Clark, a good look from three. She got it! The first three in the career. Indiana executes 2 for 1. They cut the deficit down to 9. Thomas spins, it's smushed, and fouled.
Fouls drawn, but this is at least the 4th foul that Alyssa Thomas has drawn here so far in this half.
Being tired. She basically never sits, and she said, you know, there was one game where I was sick and I felt a little tired for a couple minutes.
That one time?
That one time playing professional basketball that I felt tired because I had cold. Otherwise, no. Clark draws 2 and Thomas takes it away. 1 second left. Carrington. No.
That is what Stephanie White wanted from her, and Stephanie said, I trust her. She is going to make the right decisions, and she has.
Hey, you know, Deisha Carrington, accustomed to coming in off of the bench where you can play with bursts of energy. As a starter, you have to have that energy and maintain it. Understand that you need to be on the floor in longer stretches. Just the way Connecticut is attacking. With the hard head double teaming, and Indiana's getting trapped, so it's a little bit easier pass out of it because the pass inside to the post player is simply too difficult to complete right now.
Bonner a 3 off the mark. Smith the rebound. Here comes Clark. Hit a 3. Couple free throws late in the second after a quiet start to the game. Clark waits. Needs some help now. No one coming back to the basketball. Finally, Wheeler does. Here's Wheeler, and a foul on Harris will keep things here with Indiana. Number 3 on Harris. Aaliyah Boston has 3. Melissa Smith has 3. Clark has 2. She picked them up early. Here's Clark. In the corner, 7 to shoot. Wheeler going baseline to the reverse corner. Smith wouldn't take it, drives it, and leaves it short.
I thought she had the one more pass to Katie Samuelson on the right wing, left wing.
Here's Bonner, the hesitation, layup won't go. And it's out of bounds off of Clark, stays with Connecticut. Knocked out of bounds again as Clark denies Carrington. Clark in this game, 2 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3. 5 turnovers in that first half. No rebounds yet for Clark, although Indiana is winning the battle on the glass as Bonner gets fouled by Katie Lou Samuelson. And one of the things Christy Side spoke to us about when we had 8 of 12 from the line, as Bonner, who's closing in on 5th on the all-time scoring list, hits the first. They keep up with a lot of WNBA action during the tip-off test drive powered by CarMax. Now through May 21st, enjoy free league pass, preview and stream select games in the WNBA with no subscription required. Scan the QR code to download now and catch these must-see matchup live. Here's Wheeler working with Boston. Boston with Carrington once again fronting Clark. Boston gets smothered and denied by Jones. Here comes Carrington, stripped by Clark. Indiana comes up with a steal. Here's Clark. Clark looking to shake Carrington. Meets the hedge again.
And that time Katie Lou Samuelson rose so that there was an out pass.
Here it is again, same thing, but Jones comes up with a steal. Carrington swims in, can't finish. Boston the rebound. Now Clark, a little more space. Clark bounces in Smith. Smith. What defense from Thomas. Great pass from Smith. Wheeler, a three is good. Time out, Connecticut. Us out of that, and then the one more results in the Wheeler three. Early third quarter action. 9 points, Sun lead. The debut of Caitlin Clark. She has struggled so far tonight. Carrington gets free. Dejanay Carrington with 16 points. She's played terrific defense as well. Here's Clark off a screen, gets a look, and hits. Second three of the game for Clark, who is now in double figures. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Tawana Bonner as Clark hit the deck.
Dejanay Carrington saw Caitlin Clark worry about it too much.
And she said that's one of the difficult part of guarding someone is the mental part of it. Not thinking you're doing something wrong when make a tough shot. Sticking with your game plan. Here's Wheeler racing inside, lays it in. Indiana has cut the deficit to 6. Here's Ty Harris, had a big first half. Thomas shovels, Bonner finishes. Tawana Bonner now tied for 5th place on the all-time scoring list.
And lost the shoe. The shoe just sitting there on the other end of the floor. Gone now.
Clark guarded by Harris, trying to get a whistle, did not. And instead, it's out of bounds to Connecticut. Sounds like the start of Dr. Seuss run.
It certainly does. Let's write that book.
Tawana Bonner tying Candace Dupree for 5th place on the WNBA all-time scoring list. Next point will pass her.
I don't know this for certain.
Ahead of Dupree and Bonner on the scoring list. Here's Banham, her three off. Nalissa Smith claws the rebound. Her 7th. Here's Clark. And she traveled.
She did.
That is going to be the 8th turnover of the night for Caitlin Clark. Father Brent, Mother Ann. Here one starting 0 for 4. She's 3 for her last 4, but has turned it over obviously quite a bit here with the 8 turnovers. Here's Banham, and a foul before that will be on Clark, her 3rd.
Turnovers were an issue for Clark in the preseason. As good as she was at times scoring, assisting, she had 11 turnovers in those 2 games. And I think that's going to continue to be an area for her improvement because of all the attention that she...
Right hand around Thomas. Here's Bonner. Flipping it out. Carrington hooking it in. Boston knocks it away. Clark comes up with it. Here is Clark. Indiana down 8. Clark draws the edge, backs away from it, gets fouled by Carrington. And that'll be number 2 on Dejanay. Dejanay Carrington, Ty Harris.
Terrific.
Boston fakes the handoff. Now gives it to Clark around the edge. Clark will pull, around it off, and Thomas a rebound. Here's Thomas, a lot of space, finding Bonner now in 5th place by herself. 6,897 career points for Tawana Bonner.
And the 9th assist for Alyssa Thomas.
Alyssa Smith loses it. Thomas all alone to the rim. Timeout, Indiana. Just as the fever had started to creep back in, Alyssa Thomas, Tawana Bonner answer the bell. The Aces host Cameron Brigg the Spark, and here was Tawana Bonner.
In her 15th year. I mean, last year she had an incredible season. She just keeps getting better. Age has not caught up to her. Mother Time has not caught up.
Mitchell gets fouled as Banham could not catch up with Mitchell. And
Can we go with
here.
Mother? Well, it's kind of a negative thing, so maybe we'll keep it Mother Time.
3rd foul on Banham. Rebecca, let's just do an overall assessment here of Clark. Obviously, we know so many people here tonight to watch Caitlin after her historic run, her professional debut. started to find the shot a little bit, up to 10 points, but 7 turnovers. They took away 1. What are you seeing that you think about and forecast ahead as either being issues or things that'll easily get cleaned up?
Well, again, we talked about how Connecticut is such a good defensive team, whether it's their on-ball defense, but it's really been the traps that have given her trouble at times. So team will certainly continue to do that, especially if they have long defenders send at her. Nice get-ahead pass there.
And Mitchell to the corner. Katie Lou connects on a 3.
But I think Caitlin's teammates also, when she gets rid of the basketball, have to find their timing and getting it back into her hands, because she does draw so much attention. Figure out ways that she can get others open.
Bam with an answer. Some good moments from Rachel Banham in this game. Clark had it stripped. Last hit her foot. An onboarding learning curve against these pros. 62-51, Connecticut in front. And a travel as Thomas turns it over. Alyssa Thomas tonight, 8 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. That's the 10th Connecticut turnover. Indiana has turned it over 18 times tonight. Clark looking to evade Carrington, and a whistle on Nelson Adota, who was just...
Two teams that were competing in the semifinals and finals a year ago, and then going to Seattle to play a team that's added some star power, so tough road to start.
DJ Carrington taking a minute to get into the front court, was holding her right leg. Thomas, that's going to be an offensive foul on Alyssa Thomas. That will be her first personal, as Carrington will check out, limping a little bit. She does. And does Carrington checking out provide an opportunity for Clark? Guarded now by Mitchell. See the attention Carrington's getting. Alyssa Smith working Thomas, so physical. Smith can't hit the jumper. Nice poke away, but it still lands with Connecticut. Here is Thomas. Thomas lobbing it inside. Nelson Adota gets denied by Boston. Fights back to it. Another chance here for Connecticut. Mitchell with 1 to shoot. Can't reverse it in. Loose ball ends up in the arms of Indiana. Great look. Smith able to finish off the dime from Caitlin Clark. There's the second assist for Clark.
I really like her connection with Alyssa Smith. I think that's going to be a fierce one as the season goes on.
13 points for Smith. Here's Harris wrapping around. Banham 3. Won't go. Rebound Smith. Her 9th of the game. Back to Clark with some space in the corner. Katie Lou can't hit the 3. Would have been a big one for Indiana. Could have cut it to 6. Instead, it's Thomas up with it. And a foul here against Indiana. Let's take a look at what happened to Dejanay Harrington, Rebecca. And then hold it on to that right leg. Push shot, banks off. Good box out there.
I like that at a definer. A cramp-worthy performance.
Benley lays it in. Now Indiana a couple times in this quarter has cut it to 7, cut it to 6. They haven't been able to get over that hump. Connecticut has consistently had the answer. Harris, a deep jumper, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
Nelson Adota didn't need to roll. The defender was already caught on her. Harris had the space. Just hold your ground.
2-for-1 opportunity here for Indiana. Here's Clark. Using the screen, Boston hits her with pocket pass. Boston dips inside, can't finish. And a whistle going the other way. In fact, Benley is going to get called for the foul, I believe. They said they called it on number 10. There's no number 10 on the floor for Indiana. So they changed to 14 on Fag Benley. And that is going to be her 4th personal. I believe this is going to be shots for Connecticut as well. Yeah, they're in the bonus. So free throws here. That's a loose ball foul. So free throws here for Connecticut. Again, missed opportunity there for Indiana to creep a little closer. Connecticut comes up with a stop. Now they're at the line. Alyssa Thomas will shoot 2.
Aaliyah Boston first caught that ball. Should have put it right up.
Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. Thursday on Prime, it's Liberty at Indiana, the home debut for Caitlin Clark. Friday on Ion, a doubleheader, Washington and Connecticut, Minnesota host Seattle, and then Saturday on ABC, what a doubleheader. Indiana in New York at rocking Barclays Center, and LA in Vegas to face the defending champs. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
So happy the WNBA season is back.
It's awesome. 4-set difference, game and shot clock. Clark hops away, attacks. Clark get the foul, and will shoot 2.
Really nice set. Elbow entry. The post player sets the screen, the double team out, and then attacking the rim.
Collegiate game, it was 12. She's currently at 8 here tonight. Scoring and the efficiency for that has picked up as the game has gone along. But Connecticut, led by Dejanay Carrington, has done a wonderful job on Clark thus far this evening. 12 points now for Clark. Shot clock turned off. Three to shoot. Harris, step back jumper, you bet. Harris beats the buzzer, and that's how the 3rd quarter will end.
Better on the weak side, each other's back.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way. Well, Dejanay Carrington just went back to the locker room. A cramp of sorts in the lower leg. Heads back to the locker room as Jones finds Thomas for the tough finish. That big-to-big connection.
Double team came, and Brianna Jones still able to pass out of it.
10-point Connecticut lead. Clark on the bench to begin the 4th with 12 points, 2 assists, and 8 turnovers in her WNBA debut. Here's Smith off one leg. No. Rebound, Thomas. Thomas pedals ahead, loses it, sells. Harris, patient. 8 to shoot. Thomas will, and hit, follows it up right around Smith. That's an easy offensive rebound. Thomas gliding her way to the backcourt.
Alyssa Smith simply did not box out after the contest.
Alyssa Smith misses the 3. Bonner the rebound. Alyssa Thomas, meanwhile, 13 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, closing in on another triple-double. Harris behind Thomas. Harris forced it up. Can't get it to drop. Fagbenley, the rebound. Off to Wheeler. Wheeler zips into the paint, lays it in. Thomas bounces, Jones gets fouled, and Berger called for the personal. Free throws for Bree Jones.
Alyssa Thomas does not take
Alyssa, she'll want all of them.
Yeah. Well, the rebound numbers help her get closer to her triple doubles.
She has 8 career regular season triple doubles, 3 in the playoffs, most in league history, and she is closing in on another. Again, a 12-point lead for Connecticut. This is just volleyed from 6 or 7 to 12. Without Indiana able to get over the hump, without Connecticut completely running away. Boston traveled again. Leah Boston has had a really tough time tonight on the 20 turnovers now for Indiana as a team. We see Clark, who has 8 of them, getting ready to check back in. Thomas lobbed it up. Bonner gets out. Beautiful dish from Alyssa Thomas. And Bonner is going to shoot 2.
Connecticut really has done the job they need to in terms of
Ollie?
Well, Ryan, since it amazes you so much, I'm going to go back to the motherhood story because Joanna Bonner is a miracle of physical magic. She has given birth to twins. As you heard at the end of our interview, she said hello to Kelly and Demi. Those are her 2 little girls that are at home. She said it's been one of the hardest things of her life to have twins. She was on bed rest for the last month of her pregnancy in the hospital, but here she is back out on the court, being an all-star, being at the highest level, fifth all-time scoring, and mother of 2.
It is incredible, Holly, and Joanna, all these years of the league, still getting it done at such a high level. Clark, draw 2, finds Wallace. Here's Clark, thought about the 3, guarded here by Thomas. Maybe the best individual defender in the league. Clark gets it up to Boston, 2 to shoot. Boston, another Indiana turnover. That is 21. Alyssa Thomas, you're seen in this league's history. Helped guide Connecticut to the semifinals where they've been each the last 5 years. And Bonner trying to help Connecticut separate. Bonner has 19, is 8 of 14 from the floor. Thomas, her 11th assist. Last year, Bonner had 16 games with at least 20 points. Starts this one with 20. That was the second most in league history by a player in their 14th season or later. Only Diana Taurasi, who had 20 back in 2018, more. Clark got some space. Probing, drags out Nelson Adota. Clark will fire and hit the 3. Caitlin Clark with her 3rd 3 of the night as her parents celebrate.
Alyssa Thomas was primary defender until the switch, and then 6'5" Nelson Adota ended up on the perimeter on Clark.
Here's Ty Harris, can't answer. Rebound fact Benlay. Here is Clark, guarded by Banham. Trying to shake around her. Clark thought about pulling. Again, it's Nelson Adota. Clark drags her out. Finds Mitchell. Mitchell sneaks inside, can't finish it. And Thomas the rebound, her 9th. Harris a 3, she got it. 4th 3 of the night for Ty Harris. Two to shoot. Mitchell in trouble, and a foul on Bonner, who knew it. A reminder coming up next, Diana Taurasi and Phoenix will Thursday's matchup against the Liberty. Clark up to 18 points, her 4th 3 of the night. Game and knocking down.
The second time, a Dejanay Carrington hard cut to the basket, has taken 2 defenders and gotten her teammate an open 3.
Clark gives it up, gets it back, dribbles between 2, bodies in and gets fouled. Caitlin Clark with a little more
legs.
Yes. Let's take a listen to the sounds of the game for Caitlin Clark. But Connecticut. Foul called against Connecticut.
Connecticut's done a couple of really good things on the defensive end. Number one, they have limited Indiana for the most part in transition. They picked Caitlin Clark up and early to limit transition opportunities. They've done a great job trapping. They force turnovers in there, nearly another one.
Here's Clark, will fire, can't hit. Rebound Alyssa Thomas, and she has her triple-double. You hear the crowd reacting. Well, last year when she didn't win MVP and half the season she had, she said, look, I had a season nobody's ever had before. We'll probably never see again unless I do it. Very well aware. Coming up, Asia Wilson, the reigning finals. Diana Taurasi and new look Phoenix getting ready to take on the Aces. Here's Clark storming in. Can't bank it home. Doesn't get the whistle. Final 3 minutes of this contest. Jones traveled. Third.
There's just nowhere to go.
'83-67. Connecticut in front. 2:30 to go in the fourth. Banham crossover connects. There's your exclamation point from Rachel Banham. Wallace hits jumper on the assist from Thomas gets to it. 10 turnover from Clark. Carrington wanted a whistle, didn't get it. There's Clark wide open, deep three, missed it. She knew it and was pointing left as she took it.
They against New York.
And she'll be back on our air on ABC on Saturday as part of a doubleheader. And then on Monday night at home. Here's Mitchell twisting away, left it short. Mitchell gets fouled. And free throws here for Tiffany Mitchell. Vegas, the Mercury taking on the defending champion Aces.
Eager to see how Vegas is going to look for Chelsea Ray for how long she is out with her lower leg injury. 50-49 season in terms of efficiency.
And that was on the heels of maybe the single greatest postseason run we've ever seen from a player in 2022 from Gray en route to Vegas' first championship. Berger put up the long two, can't hit it. Rebound Carrington. Final minute of this fourth. Impressive performance from Connecticut tonight. Great production from their stars and outstanding production from the others for Connecticut, which is so key if they want to reach their lofty expectations this year.
Yes, Connecticut has to be thrilled with the way they set the tone on the defensive end and with the way a number of their players have scored efficiently here in the opening game.
Carrington, 3 to shoot. Will drive it in. Can't hit the layup. Nelson Adota does. 13 to go. Berger on the drive. Pays it in. It's all cosmetic at this point. The Connecticut Suns spoiled debut of Caitlin Clark, 71 the final.